This news update is brought to you by
I won for me to me.
For me?
Yes. You don't need speakers, right?
Upgrade to win every week with Lime. Sign up for Lime TV or broadband or purchase an iPhone 6 or Samsung Note 4. Upgrade Christmas with Lime.
Welcome to the Barbados Today Evening Update. It's Monday, December the 22nd, 2014. Thanks for joining us. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. We begin with call for Minister of Labour Dr. Esther Bayasaku to be held accountable for the collapse of the Employments Rights Tribunal. Last week, 8 of the 9 members who were tasked with hearing the cases of former National Conservation Commission workers resigned suddenly, causing outrage. Labour Minister Bayasaku has already put plans in place to replace the 8 with the 3 government representatives already being identified. But opposition MP Edmund Hinkson is adamant that Bayasaku must be held accountable for the failure of the tribunal to get off the ground.
Minister Bayasaku seemed to be again shifting responsibility for the failure of the Employment Rights Tribunal to function onto the 8 of the 9 members of that tribunal who we have learnt a couple of days ago have resigned. And this again is symptomatic of an inept, incompetent government who fails to accept their responsibility for the economic and social demise of this country over the last 7 years.
There will be no increase in bus fares in the near future. The assurance from Transport Minister Michael Lashley following a tour of the Fairchild Street bus terminal this morning. Lashley admits that the $2 fare is too low, but he says government will not mark up the price anytime soon. Meantime, speaking on the revised plans for the modern Fairchild Street bus terminal, Lashley said those are now complete. But he says his ministry is looking at ways to minimize the $25 to $30 million project.
We've taken a look at the terminal again, and we said to ourselves we have to minimize the cost given the current situation, given the fact that we don't want to really overspend ourselves. We are looking at building a terminal, but at a cost that is reasonable, and at a cost that obviously that doesn't impact on the country as a whole.
How far back is that?
But we've actually the first plans we had, we look at it and we went back, we are now tweaking it to bring it down to a reasonable cost. But I believe that I've spoken to the expert only last week at the ministry said that actually it's finished.
It's just days before Christmas and some major stores are reporting an increase in sales. When Barbados Today visited the city yesterday, some streets were filled with pedestrians while many stores were packed to capacity as shoppers took advantage of the last Sunday shopping day. Owner and Managing Director of Abed Stores, Eddie Abed, reported a major improvement in sales at the Swan Street and the Sheraton Mall locations since the start of this month.
Clearly people have waited to the last minute. We've been fortunate that we've had a good variety of merchandise. We've been deep, so it's been able to take us right through the season. And our value for money has been the hallmark of which people have come to know our beds. We're thankful.
Over at Cave Shepherd Broad Street, jewelry retail manager Beverly Belgrave said that department stores had already seen an increase in business in the past week.
What we've realized is that Christmas now is like the last 4 or 5 days before Christmas Day. This weekend we've seen an increase, and I'm sure that by tomorrow and Tuesday that we're going to see even bigger crowds.
Relief is on the way for residents of White Hill St. Andrew. The Sanitation Service Authority says workers will this week resume garbage pickups. Public Relations Officer Carl Pardmore says his department will begin twice-weekly collections for the affected residents.
We are providing this week 2 services for them. On Tuesday and on Saturday, we will be deploying vehicle and manpower to the White Hill area. As you are aware, the White Hill area, the road, the main artery into that community just really fallen apart. So it has made it impassable to all vehicles, including our vehicles. On one hand, yes, we are looking after the safety of our crew by not going across that road, but we still have to address the problem of the household garbage collection.
In sports now, St. John definitely wasn't feeling the Christmas spirit when they came up against St. Thomas in the National Sports Council's Inter-Parish Road Tennis Championships yesterday morning. Playing in superlative St. John swept aside their opponents in the B-class division and are just one win away from also winning their veterans encounter. Seasoned veteran Winston Bally's Padmore started the ball rolling for St. John when he brushed aside St. Thomas's Sean Jordan 21-17, 21-10 in their B-class contest. His partner, Fredrickson Gill, then lost the opening set 19-21 to De Courcy Beckles before battling back to win the second 25-23. They will face much tougher opposition when they meet Christchurch's duo of Victor Earth Ward and Randy Cat Yearwood. St. John's veterans team also has one foot in the semis after Wendell Duck Flew Husbands defeated Anderson Chef Andy Smith 21-19, 10-21, 21-15.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Get your sun power.
To the region now, where health authorities in Jamaica are reporting a number of chikungunya-related deaths. The Ministry of Health says it has received 12 notifications of related deaths, but they are still waiting on confirmation. More in this report from Dara Smith of Television Jamaica.
The Health Ministry has revealed that all parishes have now been impacted by the chikungunya virus. But despite numerous reports of CHIKV-related deaths, the ministry is reporting that it has received only 12 notifications. Of the 12 reports, the ministry says only 5 fit the definition of a suspected chikungunya fever case. Of the 5, 2 were confirmed in the lab. 1 tested negative for CHIKV and 2 are still being investigated. Now, 3 of the 12 deaths were determined to be unrelated to CHIKV. The ministry says it is unable to substantiate whether the remaining 4 deaths were CHIKV-related because of the insufficient data received.
On the international scene, 6 people are dead and 7 others seriously injured after an out-of-control garbage truck crashed into pedestrians in central Glasgow, Scotland.
About 2:30 this afternoon, a Glasgow City Council refuse bin lorry has been travelling north in Queen Street just outside the Gallery of Modern Art when it's collided with a pedestrian. The lorry's continued up Queen Street towards George Square, and there's been a number of other collisions with pedestrians on the pavement. As a consequence, there have been a number of fatalities. As you'll see behind me, the bin lorry has come to rest against the Millennium Hotel.
And on that note, we come to the end of our Barbados Today evening update. We will be back again in the morning. But until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screen play at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune into Channel 101 on Lime TV to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic evening.
This news update is brought to you by...
You got an upgrade for Christmas.
If you're feeling lucky, you could win some money.
An upgrade for Christmas.
$200,000 in cash and prizes. With Lime, you could win some money. It's Lime's Christmas Lottery. 250 winners this Christmas, oh yeah!
Sign up or upgrade to super fast broadband, Lime TV, e-billing, a data plan, top up $15, purchase a handset or text 4263 to enter.
Upgrade for Christmas.